Boom. Phlegm out. Just going to be doing a normal sort of upper body, shoulders, forearms, biceps workout. This is kind of your typical bodybuilding meathead style split, which is fine to do as long as you're not crushing one specific muscle group or doing something over and over again. As long as you're mixing up the exercises and getting a versatility of different push-pull movements, both vertical and horizontal, you're going to do fine. You're going to even everything out and you're going to hit all the muscle groups you need to. So, start up today, warm up. I've got, what we got? 25 plates, 10 plates, 35 pounds on either side, 45-pound plate, 70 pounds plus 45-pound plate. What's it come to? 125? Yeah, maybe 115. Just gonna do some bent over rows. Just going for 8 on these. Easy peasy. Let's go for about 90 seconds, 2 minutes rest. My thing with rest is just kind of go by feel. As long as you're going hard enough in the set, I don't really think you need to worry too much about rest. And like, don't go over 4 minutes, I guess. But the type of workouts I do, I don't know, I found just taking plenty of rest works fine. All right, second set, I'm gonna do 3. This is really kind of more about a warm up. This isn't too incredibly challenging. You know, depending where you're at, you might just do 80 pounds on this. Basically all my equipment, except for the squat rack, is secondhand off of Let Go and Offer Up. Kind of like Craigslist type sites. I also have bought a few dumbbells and a few of these smaller plates from Walmart. They occasionally have sales. You can find weights under about $1 a pound. That's pretty good. As long as they're not rusted out or anything. Damn. I'm gonna change the batteries in the smoke alarm. All right, one more. Trying to stay with knees slightly bent at almost a 90-degree angle, not quite, maybe like an 80-degree. And coming up just below the top of my rib cage, or the upper part of my lower rib cage. Top of my abdomen. All right. 3 of those knocked out. I'll go ahead and do 3 sets tricep push downs. I'm gonna go to about 12 on these. Was just about like, I don't know, I could maybe have done like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 more without hitting failure. I don't typically train super hard to failure. That can be effective, but I like to train a lot. And I train to get big, but I train for health benefits. And for me personally, when you train to failure, often working out is about all you can do because you're super burnt out. And you really gotta focus when you're training to failure. It's no good if you're not really pushing a caloric surplus. You really got to have the calories up when you're doing that kind of training. And it's a full-time commitment. If you really want to gain that size, it does work, but you've got to eat the food. And you got to feel lethargic a lot of the rest of the time and kind of brain dead. I think that pulley system was like, I don't even know, I think I want to say $30 or $40 on Amazon. Those are just like plastic weights, those are 10 pounds each, I got 40 on there. And maybe not everyone wants to buy the squat rack, which I think this is only like $350 with Amazon free shipping. But you can also get just pull-up bars that have like a 300 or 400 pound weight limit. Set that up, get this pulley system, find a few cheap weights. You can get these packs from Walmart with like, I don't know, I think it's like 35 pounds in various sizes. I think it's like $25, so that's pretty good. You can get this set up really cheap. You got space around your house. One more set, 12 reps. I do these kind of leaning back and try to get sort of that angle for the range of motion. I don't know if it's any more range of motion, but it's just a little better for my elbows like this. Starting to get a little burn. Ten-pound weights. 10-pound weights. One side at a time. I don't have this bolted in, so I don't want to grab too high and tilt it over. Get that little bit of an angle. So we're really activating this sort of angle. This is where it's the weight's starting to move up. So we're fighting gravity. See, it's right here, there's no muscle activated, but right about there is where the muscle starts to get activated. We go to about 12 on these two. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can't just do them straight up and down. It's just not as good. If you think about it, it's not even really going against gravity until about there. Those 10s. Got some 15s over here. This time I'm going to do them just standing straight. I'm going to come out at 45 to me. Right. 12 again, those ones don't count. Really focusing on the decline. Like that, making sure I'm coming at least 2 or 3 inches above my shoulder height every time. That's also why we want to be at the 45-degree angle, not straight out. It's a much healthier angle for the shoulder. It's much better activation of the mid-delt, which is what we're going for. The ideal way to do these is to get a cable machine with the cable set about the same height as your hand. And get it out to where you can start with the tension right about here. So you got a handle, cable machine hooked up. So already when you're moving through this range of motion, you're already under tension. You're just coming straight out. Got a cable machine where I can hook it up from the bottom, which I will have soon. That's ideally how I do it. All right, 12 more with the 15s. These are a little heavy for me today. Actually, I'm actually going to do these with the 5-pound weights. You'll find these at a garage sale for a couple of bucks anywhere. Most towns. You can also get the ones at Walmart. These cat plates, these are 5 pounds too. They got little handles you can kind of grip. Not quite as comfortable, but it will work. Going for 12. And all I'm doing is coming back at a 45, bent over a 90-degree angle. Maybe even a little bit more than a 45. Focusing on keeping my fists in that kind of hammer position. Really trying to squeeze the rear delt. Find the angle where you can really feel the back of your shoulder the most. You can feel it mostly at the very end of the movement. To rest. Check if I'm even still recording. Once we do a 10-second hold, our last rep. Switching to 10s. Resting, you don't have to hold them in your hands, but helps work on grip endurance. All right, 12 more. Slightly bend the knees, 90 degrees over. When I kind of get into this position, you're almost resting your upper body on your thighs. That's all right. Just try to stay in a good, healthy knee position. Not bowed in, bowed out. Knees going right in line with the front toes. Just to the inside of the front toes. Bicep curls are the 15s. I'm going to do the 15s, the 25s, and the 40s. You guys are welcome to just do whatever you want. Do the 5s 3 times, 15s 3 times. You've got to figure out where it is that you start to get the burn, but you're not doing crazy movements to try to get it up. You know, if I was to try to curl the 80-pound dumbbell I got back there, I'd have to swing it and pull and do all kinds of weird stuff to get it up. That's the way you know it's too much. If you can't do at least 2 or 3 without doing any crazy stuff, it's too much. So I'm just going for 8 on these. I like to kind of lean back a little bit, so getting a little bit more of the start of the tension at this angle here. Do have in air conditioning running. It's probably about 77, 76 degrees in here. Just in the sweatiest man alive. It's a blessing and a curse because, you know, all right, a little more. Try to always control it back down. Just because you get the final rep up doesn't mean you can just let go. I mean, if you absolutely need to, but ideally, keep the contraction, lower it back down. I can't remember if I did both sides. Being done. Picked up a weight, you're worried you're going too light, try Try to go up to just the next one up, but also just hit it heavier next time. The gym is not, there's ways of training to make adjustments, to make quick moves, to adjust the way you look, to make changes. But ultimately, you want to keep a relationship with working out. And it's got to be something that's positive in your mind, or you're not going to keep doing it. That's why I'm not for kill yourself workouts for the average person. Some people love that. Sometimes I like that. But honestly, what's going to keep you coming back to the gym, keep you motivated, keep you associating the gym with days that you feel good, is training with a medium intensity, working hard on your sets, doing intelligently designed workouts where you're getting some versatility, and not overdoing it. So you leave here with some energy so you go on to have a good day. And you're not going on to, oh my gosh, I had like a killer workout this morning. I'm like, I feel like I'm floating in a sea of Pepto-Bismol. So I hit failure on those ones. So I just did half reps to 8. If you do this whole workout, do it at home with just 5-pound weights. Skip the tricep push downs. Just do push-ups instead. I'm gonna do one more thing after this, and that's it. That's the full workout. Hanging. Really recommend getting at least like, get somewhere in the house that's tripods hung up in it, but one of those pull-up bars you put through the door, definitely screw it in. They do stay stable, but sometimes people decide to try to swing on them and do stupid stuff and they come down. So, someone knows how to screw things into the stable parts of the wall, stud or rubber door frame. You can be kind of tricky. All right, final thing. 10-pound weights. I normally do these sitting down, but got the camera facing over here. I'm just gonna do front delt raises, just to kind of get one final pump. I didn't do any shoulder presses today. The way I would do it is I'd do like a workout like this, and then later in the week do like a 5x5 heavy shoulder press workout with like a pulling movement in between, like a heavy, plated rear pull. I forget exactly what those machines are called, but basically like a heavy back movement, almost like the rows I did today, but maybe a machine. And then go into some heavy chest stuff. Maybe chest press, but maybe machines, and then maybe save chest press stuff for, it's like I do kind of my own, like an entire day devoted to chest with a little bit of back mixed in. I like to always do a little bit of opposing muscle groups. Obviously, there's so much debate about splits, what's right and wrong. I don't know, I feel like as long as you're not specifically way overtraining something, and what's overtraining a muscle group to one person, it varies from person to person. Some people can train chest 4 times a week and their chest just responds fine, it never gets overtrained. Some people really can't hit muscle groups more than like once per 10 days, or else they're completely flatlined. I mean, that's probably just a fitness problem, but the point is, I don't think the splits, when people debate over like the studies of the splits, we're talking about like tiny percentile differences amongst, it's usually like amongst trained athletes, so it's like, it's hard to see what changes are gonna make the most effect on the average person compared to athletes in those studies that are already pretty metabolically adapted to whatever they're doing. All right, just one at a time, 1 to 12. I think I might have just done 20, just do 12. This is the last thing. I'll go with 25s. What I'm going to do because I am going to kind of swing them a little bit. I'm going to try to kind of control it on the descent. This is more of an advanced technique. What I'm doing, I'm kind of leaning back and my arm is bending. I'm just trying to lift this up like a hammer up high. Ooh, that was difficult. That's it. Go for a 5-minute, 10-minute walk. Go munch some protein, get some carbs. That's it.